Hey everyone, I'm Mo Prince Eric here and welcome back to my channel. So today we discuss about the patch notes on update 13.1. Okay, so the Lunar New Year is coming on right up into it this month. So let's get started and our full details up ahead and doing right now for reactions. Sorry, we have a technical difficulties. Let's head on for the news and see what's going to happen. Accordingly, the World of Warships has finally reset the post about the update 13.1 took place yesterday. It's about a Lunar New Year. Okay, in this week, the server will be unavailable for a 3 hours time on February 8th from 3 a.m. in midnight until 6 a.m. in the morning. So, the update 13.1 delivers the following are the Submarine and ASW updates, changes to its stereo system, Lunar New Year events, Airship Escort, early access to US aircraft carriers continues, clan battles, brawls, armory, the Creatorverse, game balance changes, YouTube membership changes, content additions and changes, as well as other changes. So let's get started to it for a new iteration. So, the submarines and ASW updates. As we announced previously, we are working on solving major problems with submarine interactions, and we are now ready to share some details about changes to submarines and ASW update 30.1. With these changes, we aim to create more consistent interactions between submarines and surface ships while still maintaining the current level of combat effectiveness of submarines. But first, we are making a few changes to surface ship or ASW. Some depth charges are being replaced with depth charge airstrike for Hindenburg and Venezia branches, known to be as the German and Italian cruiser Tech 3, except for Tier 5 Montecuccoli, as well as the premium and special ships like Prinzwagen and Atmoschruder. We also increasing the depth charge airstrike range for Tier 5 and 7 battleships. Depth charge airstrike for Tier 5 and 7 battleships and cruisers will have a shorter cooldown. Additionally, for Tier 5 and 6 battleships and cruisers, the bomb damage will be slightly reduced. This means that you will be able to use depth charge airstrike more often, but with a lower damage output per attack. Ships that currently have special ASW settings will not receive any changes unless specifically noted. Some depth charge airstrike range will be increased for Ohio, Thunderer, Jean Bart, and Jean Bart B. It will become similar to the ranges for other battleships at their tiers. The Venezia, Sao, and Yodo branches will receive the submarine surveillance consumable in a separate slot. But this new consumable for use in detection for submarines underwater. But it will be available for some Italian and Japanese cruisers on Tech 3s. Like the Zao is a heavy cruiser one. The Yodo is a light cruiser. As for submarine changes, the hydropole consumable now works directly. The consumable will allow submarines to be highlight ships in range regardless of terrain. The consumable can be activated in any state, but it will only reveal ships that are at periscope depth or on the surface. When submarines use hydropole to reveal ships above them and in their line of sight, static silhouettes of these ships will appear for a short period and then disappear. Ships behind terrain will be indicated as a short flash without a silhouette. Here are some animation illustrations about the submarine gameplay and wherever it changes for that in this update, as well as the underwater terrain illustrations. But a collision warning message will now appear for submarines when there is another submarine underwater within 2 kilometers. This message will appear if the enemy submarine is not spotted, and it will disappear as soon as the opponent leaves the 2 kilometer radius or resurfaces. But it will help them for maintaining alert when you play submarines. Finally, to balance out the changes to ASW, we are improving the turning circle radius of all submarines so that they can better maneuver and have more opportunity to reposition. On average, the turning circle will improve by around 20%. As a result of these submarine changes, we are also adding new effects to the following signals. Some Sierra Bravo are The submarine surveillance preparation cooldown time is minus 10%. Hydropone cooldown time is minus 10%. Another signal flag X-ray Papa Uno 1 is the die capacity plus 5%. But in the future, we would like to see up the another submarine changes, this time per upgrades, which is going to be took place in the future updates. Okay, in update 13.1 is going to be changes to its stereo system. The majority expendable camouflages available in the game will get their permanent versions. The new permanent camouflages will function similarly to those that already exist, such as New Year, Epoch, or Made of Steel. However, you will be able to mount them on ships at any tier. These camouflages can be either purchased or earned through various activities, events, and missions. Available permanent camouflages are stored in your inventory. You can also see the number of copies you have under its stereo tab. You can link permanent camouflages to the ship for free, provided that you have them. Once you link a permanent camouflage to a ship, it will remain linked to that ship and cannot be unlinked. Once you link the permanent camouflage, you will no longer be able to use expendable version of the same camouflage on the ship. You can't sell these permanent camouflages. Once you obtain a standard, single color, abstract, or thematic camouflage on your account, you can purchase its permanent versions for all of your ships. You can purchase permanent standard, single color, abstract, or thematic camouflages for credits or doubloons. When purchasing a permanent camouflage under its stereo tab, it will automatically be linked to the ship. Camouflages in awarded and guest categories can't be purchased under its stereo tab. You can find in the prices table below. So here's are the tables. So standard it costs 22,500, single color 45,000, abstract 75,000, and thematic will be 90,000. Some price for one permanent camouflage are the following. The standard consists 6 million credits or 750 doubloons. Single colors consist 7 million credits or the same amount for doubloons. Abstract is going to be 8 million credits or the same amount of doubloons. And thematic will be at 9 million credits or the same amount of doubloons. Some awarded and guests in both of them can't be purchased under its stereo tab. Here's all the list. But I hope this opportunity will be looked forward is going to be whether I know we'll be see up to this on Thursday. Whether it could be provided for additional credits as soon as possible, but I will look forward to it. The introduction of these permanent camouflages brings several other changes. Daily rewards on the barge will change. There will no longer be an option to choose the more camouflages container as a reward. Spendable camouflages will be replaced by the permanent versions in collections and campaigns, as well as for account leveling and clan battle mission rewards. In the future, we plan to substitute expendable camouflages for the permanent versions for some activities. Okay, the Lunar New Year is coming right up the corner in update 30.1. You can participate in thematic event pass and journey through 2 progression lines that offer a plethora of rewards. Each line is comprised of a total of 20 levels. Complete them or earn all of the main rewards and get access to additional rewards for completing extra levels. The first progression line will reward you with a Lunar Warrior permanent camouflage, most signal containers, Lunar New Year containers, and Journey to the West premium containers. Among all these rewards, you also find a Tier 6 Pan-Asia cruiser Ramad with an economic bonus package for Tier 6 ships. I suggest, but you already have Ramad in your port, you will receive a compensation. For those who already don't have Ramad, you will give them directly. But also important of my fact that the bonus package for Tier 6 ships will be always to that in this ship that you obtained that from early access back in early 2022. This line also offers content made in collaboration with YouTuber and Twitch streamer the Russian Badger, the Cloud Trospar Big commemorative flag, Commander the Russian Badger with individual voiceover, and the USS Lobs Terminator permanent camouflage for American Battleship New Mexico. Extra levels of this line will reward you at 2 times Lunar New Year containers per level. In the second progression line unlocks 4 doubloons, will provide the following rewards: New Year Beast Flag, Sha Wu Jin, Sun Wukong and Chinese Dragon patches, Lunar Warrior and Winter Strands permanent camouflages, and the Pan-Asia Destroyer Tier 8 Shenyang with an economic bonus package for Tier 8 ships. However, if you already have Shenyang in your port, you receive a compensation on it as well. Moreover, you will have an opportunity to earn Silk Sunrise permanent camouflages for Chumpong, Haibin, Sejong, and the premium ship Dalian, as well as Commander Quarong with 10 skill points. However, the permanent camouflage was introduced back on early access in this time in early 2022. Extra levels of this line will reward you with a one-time Lunar Warrior permanent camouflage per level. Here are the flag, the commander, and the patches. As part of the Lunar New Year celebrations, the New Year Beast patch, Lunar Demon permanent camouflage for Shenyang, and Commander Nian with individual voiceover have been added to the game. Well, it's pretty look nice to this Shenyang. Wow. Look at that. This is gonna be very beautiful. Here on the picture the permanent camouflage for Shenyang. And also the Dragon Port has been updated for this occasion during a limited time. Okay, I do have a mention about last year about the Pan-Asia Destroyers will finally goes additional consumable, the Torpedo Wheel Booster. This means the Pan-Asia Destroyers can arm deep water torpedoes, can fire cruisers, battleships, and aircraft carriers. Especially starting tier 8 though, it can always switch between the smoke generator and the surveillance radar. It's easy to use, but you always remember for that. Now, the Airship Escort will begin on February 22 and ends on March 5. Okay, remember about the Airship Escort was removed back in the update 12.10 due to unknown reasons, led by World of Warships developers. But you will try right now for the back in time when I not to play Airship Escort, but significantly we'll try it out very soon. But honestly, it's gonna be different for the while. But the Airship Escort is the same similar like other games in Overwatch. Like for example, escort the payload. We teams should escort the payload in any destination. For defending teams, contest the payload until the timer runs out. Okay, so Airship Escort returns as a separate temporary battle type in the third week of update 30.1. The format is going to be 12 versus 12. The tier 8 to end ships are allowed to play. All ship types. Now, description is your goal is to help the allied airship to reach its destination while protecting it from the opposing team. Alternatively, you can achieve victory by destroying all enemy ships. During the battle, ships on both sides can affect the speed of the allied or opposing airships by staying within the interactive zone near each one. Airships move at the standard speed if there are no players within the interactive zones. Airships accelerate if only allied ships are within the borders of the interactive zones. Airships slow down if at least one opposing ship is within the borders of the interactive zones. If your team simultaneously speeds up the allied airship and slows down the opposing ship, the allied airship receives additional acceleration. Now, the early access to the US aircraft carrier continues in this update 30.1. Since the update 30.0 though, we can assure for that there is limited chance to offer to get something for the random battles, collecting tokens as soon as possible. Early access to the new US aircraft carrier line is ongoing. You can still obtain American tokens from random battles available for doubloons and exchange them for rewards in the armory. Some of the top tier assets with a 10 skill point commander and a port slot. The Hero of Midway permanent camouflage for your town. The Defender Pacific Ocean permanent camouflage for assets. Up to 10 times Wing of Freedom premium credits and containers and credits. So that will be fully released ahead in the next update sometime. Will be available for Attack Tree. Okay, clan battles. A week after update 30.1 is out, the clan battle season 24, dubbed Sea Dragon, will commence. Clan battles offer excellent opportunity to show off your skills in World of Warships. It is not only the results of individual battles that are important here, but also general progress. Fight alongside your allies in Race to the Top. Win clan battles to earn valuable rewards such as steel, oil, Days of Warships premium account, and signals, and level 3 and 4 expendable economic bonuses. The more victories you achieve, the more rewards you will earn. It starts from February 12th, 7:30 p.m. until it ends in April 8th at 12:30 p.m. Gaming sessions are available on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. The format is going to be 7 versus 7. The restrictions are going to be following. Players will be able to go into battle aboard cruisers, destroyers, and battleships, but aircraft carriers is prohibited this time. No more than one battleship per team. There are no restrictions on cruisers or destroyers. No more than one super ship. Oh, be careful about that. The super ships is going to be participating in the game. No more than one Petropavlos per team, and there are limits of the number of Napoli and Marseille. One team may not have more than 2 of these ships in total. Okay, the first round of brawls took place after they released the update 13.1. So, the first round took place in February 12 until it ends on February 19. There will be a seats versus seats, playing tier 7 ships, cruisers and battleships only. No more than 2 battleships and 4 cruisers. Maximum division size is only 3. The second round will be took place in 1 week, from February 19 until February 26 at the same time. Will be a 5 versus 5 with tier 10 ships and no more than 1 submarine or 1 aircraft carrier, 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers, and 2 battleships. Maximum division size is 2. So now I can finally chance on to play defense for my first time, as well as helping for my other ships to be participate, such as Napoli. Napoli is definitely wanted to play that for this ship is recommended because of the SAP secondary build. Now the third round of brawl will be took place at the 2 weeks time. It starts on February 26th until on March 4 before the update 30.2 is released. This time will be 6 versus 6, playing tier 9 ships, destroyers and cruisers only. No more than 2 cruisers and 4 destroyers. Maximum division size is always 3. So I would like to say I will have getting my chance on to play Michelangelo with the help of the secondary SAP build. As well as other cruisers, my favorite is Schroeder, capable of the secondary build with the helm of the unique commander Admiral Gunter Lugens. Well, as for destroyers though, I only one of it, Groningen. We'll be playing of these brawls for only premium ships only. Now, Armory is going to be available for a new ship. So, the Sicilia in the Research Bureau. Welcome a new addition to the Armory. With the release on this update, a tier 10 Italian battleship Sicilia will become available to purchase for 60,000 research points. The battleship Sicilia takes her name from the famous island in southern Italy with its capital Palermo, as well as the swift and mighty ironclad of the same name, which served in the Reggio Marina at the turn of 19th and 20th centuries. The Tier 10 Sicilia is armed with 16 381mm guns and 4 quadruple gun turrets. It's just like her sister ship Cristoforo Colombo. However, she is armed with HE shells instead of SAB and mostly relies on her AP shells to deal damage. Sicilia can shoot comfortably over long distances and deal high damage per salvo, but her firing range is shorter compared to that of other battleships of her tier, while her accuracy is poor. Her aft turrets rotate 360 degrees on both turrets 3 and 4. Her secondary guns have a good fighting range and fire SAB shells with high penetration. As for her AA, Sicilia has a significantly higher range compared to other Italian ships. This ship has good armor and quick rudder shift times. However, her detectability is relatively high, similar like her sister ship. Her consumables are represented by a repair party, a soft smoke generator, and a choice between fighter and spotting aircraft in one slot. Okay, so Cecilia is going to be capable of secondary build for these commanders, because the main armament is going to be changed. The main armaments consist HE and AP shells, while her secondary batteries consist only to fire sub shells, but this is very similar like Napoli, it's Napoli style. Her Sigma is going to be 1.6, is barely troubling, like her sister ship Cristoforo Colombo, and will definitely the Italian battleships in the tech tree will go on a low accuracy. So I might advise to fire the main battery guns of Sicilia will be both fighting HE or AP shells. But using a soft smoke generator though, you cannot fire the main battery gun one on smoke. Doing her job right now is for secondary. Will be fired as sap shells. Okay, the next one, Battle of the Java Sea, will be took place the February 16 to 5 at 5 p.m. in the afternoon and ends on March 8 at the same time. An event dedicated to the Battle of the Java Sea, one of the most famous naval battles Pacific campaign in World War II, starts in the second week of Update 30.1. We have prepared a special mission chain that will bring you various rewards including Java Sea tokens. One of the two new historical commanders, Takeo Kurita or Kala Duman, plus Battle of the Java Sea containers and the Battle of Java Sea premium container. Java Sea tokens will be also available in special bundles in Armory for the Blues. Okay, so let's talk about Takeo Kurita. Takeo Kurita is a Japanese naval commander of the Imperial Japanese Navy. Having obtained the rank of Vice Admiral, he served throughout the World War II campaigns in the Pacific until in 1945. However, though, the Kurita is doing some kind of post-war careers after the Navy. Okay, the next one, Karel Duman, one of the most significant Dutch naval commanders in the Second World War. Especially, he's the one of the commanders of the APTOCOM, known as American, British, Dutch, Australian Command, and he's the the Dutch commander. He with the helm of the flagship HMS De Luther. But ultimately, though, the Karel Duman was killed in action during the battle. You can exchange these tokens in the dedicated armory section to obtain a PERD, two new ships, Jupiter 42, which is a member of the J-class destroyer of the British Royal Navy, and Minigomo, a Tier 9 Japanese destroyer and a member of Sasho class destroyer, as well as Battle of Java Sea containers and credits. You can earn enough tokens via the mission chain to obtain PERD. Alright, the next one, the Creatorverse, which is available in Update 30.1. We bring some exciting news. We have partnered with 5 major YouTubers to bring the unique content to World of Warships. Courage, Moist Critical, Ludwig, Nate Shot, and Sapnap are setting out on our virtual seas. The respective commanders, Courage, Chuck Blast, Stonebeard, Nate Shot, and Sapnap, are voiced by the YouTubers themselves. But that's not all. We have also prepared thematic commemorative flights representing each of them, as well as permanent camouflages carefully crafted with the input. Pride of the Courageous for Leander, Blastmaster for Bayern, Stonewash for Normandy, Deeds Future for Pensacola, and Fire Carrier for Fubuki. As part of this collaboration, the internet's container will be added to the game. Okay, here are the list of the container content, which is going to be 11. So I'm not gonna lead that. So you may find out in the details up ahead. If you already have all items for the commanders and permanent camouflage scoops, you receive a compensation. Now, one of the most things up ahead for the balance changes for every ships, since we're done by World of Warships developers. Okay, the most problem for these top tiers, and especially for some tier seats for etc. etc. Okay. Okay, so the problem is the Ruiho goes on the buff, which is going to be 81 seconds on start squadron. Some researchable squadron also that will be buff, will be nerfed. Torpedo damage decreased this time to 5,000. This is very opportunistic problem. Japanese destroyer Hayate is a good news, as well as torpedo reload booster consumable was moved to a separate slot. Now, the Japanese supercarrier Sekiryu, the main problem is goes to buff. Tactical torpedo reduced to 7,500. Attack aircraft is going to be parameters changes. It's going to be the damage reduced to 2,850. Fire chances reduced up to 12%. The American destroyer Clemson, which is going to be a nerf. Start torpedo is going to increase 44 seconds. Researchable torpedo reload time increase to 70 seconds. Now, the American battleship California will be on the good news. The main battery reload time is now 32.5 seconds. Change engine parameters. The acceleration time for forward and reverse movement was significantly reduced. However, the new featured acceleration settings are similar to those found for American standard battleships in the Tech Tree, like Kansas, Minnesota, and my flagship Vermont. The Florida, meanwhile, which is a good news, the reload time was reduced to 32 seconds. Indianapolis, meanwhile, has another good news. It's now main battery reload time is about 13 seconds. The American aircraft carrier Hornet will be another good news. The bomb damage increased this time to 8,000. The fire chances increased to 45%. Now, for American battle carriers, the Nebraska, Delaware, and Louisiana, the changes the parameters of the stock and researchable dive bombers. The dive bombers are now equipped with jet-assisted takeoff bombers. HE bomb parameters increased to 53 millimeters. Then American supercruiser Annapolis, which is a nerf. Interval between individual shots and bursts increased to 1 to 1.5 seconds. This time the surveillance radar consumable action time decreased to 40 to 35 seconds. But it is okay, especially you're gonna need a surveillance radar mod 1 to do so. Now, the nerf goes on the United States, American supercarrier, which is torpedo bomb, tactical torpedo bombers damage reduced to 7,600 to 6,133. Now, the good news for Mikoyan, the main battery accuracy settings change. They will now be similar to other cruisers on Tier 5. The main battery parameters have changed. The reload time is about 11 seconds and the AP shell damage increased to 4,650. Next, the Soviet destroyer Kiev is very good news for that. The stock hull HP is going to be increased to 16,200. The researchable hull HP pool increased this time to 17,500. Now, the Soviet destroyer Khabarovsk is a former Tech Tree. This time, the repair party consumable is gonna replace a specialized repair teams with a following parameters. The action times consist 20 seconds, reload times about 80 seconds, with only 3 charges. But it's a good news up ahead. The special destroyer since the Khabarovsk was moving out from the Tech Tree to be replaced by Delny since in early 2022. Now the problem for Petropavlovsk is gonna be the same. This time the base detectability range is increased to 16.3 kilometers. Well, this is gonna be a not spectacular about the same thing ahead like battleships detectability. Next, the Soviet cruiser Sebastopol. The good news is the main battery reload time is about 24 seconds and they changes the parameters of party consumable. The action time is gonna be 60 seconds and cooldown time reduced up to 120 seconds and then the increased charges up to 4. The Super Destroyer Zorky, the number of the shots is his burst firing mode decreased from 4 to 3. That is definitely a nerf. Okay, the British aircraft carrier Colossus at tier 8. The changes of parameters of attack aircraft. Number of rockets per plane reduced up to 5. Size of aiming ellipse increased by 20%. The amount of rockets that are guaranteed to hit closer to the center of the aiming ellipse reduced to 33%. Well, it's definitely the premium aircraft carrier Colossus will go on a nerf. But unfortunately for that, we have to be one. Attack aircraft and armed AP rockets. So try not to pay attention on the broadside of this. Okay, so the next one is the British battlecruiser Duncan. The good news is the main battery reload time decreased 29.5 seconds, and the NURBS goes on repair party consumable reload time is increased to 80 to 100 seconds. But still, it's a very good opportunity for that. Now, the top tier, the British battlecruiser St. Vincent. Is the NURBS is going to be repair party consumable is about 100 seconds, and increases in the detectability range is 60.2 kilometers. But it is very very troubling. So my advice will go on this top tier is to switching out the fourth upgrade slot is the steering gears mod 1. It's a very opportunity for this. Now, the Super Carrier Eagle is going to be it changes parameters. The NURBS is going to be tactical attack aircraft rocket parameters. Damage is reduced to 2050. Fire chances reduced to 8%. Now, the NURBS goes on the tactical dive bombers are changed. The damage reduced is about 6,400. Fire chances reduced up to 36%. Now, the French destroyer Jaguar is going to be some either buff or nerf. The reload time is about 75 seconds. The range decreases up to 7.5 kilometers. The damage reduced is about to 11,267. Speed decreases about 57 knots. Now, for French aircraft carrier BN, it's going to be nerf or buff or something or what. Increase the dispersion of the skip bombers by 20%. Due to the ships showing excessive effectiveness when attacking destroyers, we decided to decrease its attacking potential against smooth accuracy of the skip bombers drop. You should bring the carrier more in line with other carriers of the tier. Okay, the next one is going to be Super Cruiser French Condé. The main battery reload time is going to be a buff up to 40 seconds. Bonus to maximum main battery shell dispersion during burst fire reduced to 20%. This is a nerf. The Italian destroyer Nazario Sauro. The main battery reload time decreases for 6.4 seconds. That is a buff. The sap shells are going to be changed, this time on NURBS. Damage decreases up to 2,350. Next, the Tier 6 Italian destroyer Aviere. The researchable torpedo range reduced is going to be nerf is about 8 kilometers. The changes parameters of the emergency engine power consumable. The number of charges reduced to 4 and the action time reduced to 20 seconds. Is obviously another nerf. Next, the premium Italian destroyer Leon. The main battery reload time is about 8.5 seconds. That is a buff. Torpedo launcher reload time is about 45 seconds. That is also a buff. The Italian battleship Vittorio Veneto is gonna be a good news. The Sigma value increased up to 1.8. Stock hull rudder shift time reduced to 21.7 to 20.2 seconds. Then researchable hull rudder shift time reduced to 40.4 seconds. Now, the Italian battleship Lepanto is going to be a buff. Stock hull rudder shift time reduced to 23.3 to to 20.9 seconds. Researchable hull rudder shift time reduced to 16.7 to 14.9 seconds. Finally, the top tier is Italian battleships Cristoforo Colombo and Amerigo Vespucci. Sigma value this time will be 1.6, it goes on the buff, but still quite struggling on to fire sub and AP shells on this ship, but will do it to fire sub shells immediately. Firing angles for the out turrets increase by 10 degrees. Rudder shift time reduces to 18 to 15.3 seconds. The Pan-Asian Cruiser Dalian, which is the tier 9, is going to be a buff. Main battery yield time reduced to 4.9 seconds. The Pan-Asian battleship Sun Yat-sen, which is going to be a nerf buff. The main battery AP shell damage increased to 14,500. Next, Pan-Asian Super Destroyer Kunming, which is the base detectability range reduced to 7.4 kilometers, but it's pretty okay for that for handling around for it. That is a nerf. That is a buff. All other detectability parameters adjusted accordingly. Now, for Pan-European Gunboat Destroyer Split, it's going to be a buff. The main battery yield time reduced to 3.6 seconds. Then the upcoming My port, Lambros Cazzoni is tier 9, Pan-European Gunboat DD. Is going to be main battery reload times about 3.8 seconds. Now, the premium heavy cruiser Numancia, tier 8. Change parameters of burst fire mode, remove the increased shell dispersion debuff. Here are the YouTube memberships. We'll be going to apply for that in the update 13.1. So I'm not gonna read it on entirely. But it will depend on cost for our country should be may vary on it. Now, content additions and changes. Ships Chikuma 2, a member of the Tone class cruiser. The Chikuma 2 is a member of the Tone class cruiser or tier 9. Wisconsin American battleship for top tier, a member of the Iowa class battleship. Prince Van Orange, a Dutch large cruiser for tier 10, and the Red Fort, Commonwealth cruiser tier 5 used to test Delhi, have been added for testing by developers, volunteers, and community contributors. The newest bookmarks, a new feature for the news tab in your port. You can add publications you are interested to your bookmarks now. Thus, you will be able to quickly access the information you need via the navigation bar. Some other changes which is going to be applied in the update 30.1, so I will not going to read it out entirely. For the list of complete changes, please refer to player support if you wanted to visit here on the website. So that concludes right now for the patch notes and update 30.1 Lunar New Year. So gonna be excited for this. We have a new opportunity for these ships awaits this. Right just before my 26th birthday though. It's definitely gonna be an exciting moment. So I hope you guys enjoy my doing to read on update 30.1, especially doing my reactions in the patch notes. So I hope you guys like my video and click subscribe and ring the bell notification icon. If you want suggestions, my questions, please put on the comments down below. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you see you in my next video. Peace out guys, and we're going to see you up ahead for the update 30.1. Peace out guys.